to another segment of the DLA in the News.
Hi, Renee.
Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, it's Kiwi.
Oh, it's Kiwi. I'm so sorry.
No problem, no problem. I get a
Kiwi.
lot of Kevi
All right,
derivations of my
Kiwi.
name,
My
which is
apologies. And I am literally just coming back from the gym and I'm rushing, so I'm not camera ready, but I didn't want to miss this. So please, I want to
okay.
be on camera today.
All right, no problem, no problem. I will tell you, it's a little more difficult to interact if I can't see you, but I'll do my best.
Trying to see if I got to put on a hat. All right, go ahead. I'll try to see what I can do.
Okay. Oh
I'll figure
yeah. I
something
mean,
out.
I'll do my best to. But yeah, it's great to kind of
Face the
catch up
voice.
and
I'm there with you. Trust me.
yeah. But fantastic. So yeah, hey, I think you're the only person that confirmed for today. So
Okay.
fantastic. You got me all to yourself today.
Awesome.
And wasn't really sure exactly what you had on the agenda. I kind of have these fairly open architecture. So I get different types of people with different types of backgrounds, people who are new to DLA, just kind of want to learn more about the DLA. So I do have a presentation that I could do if that's where your concern is, or Renee, if you have some actual solicitations that you're going after. It's pretty much free for all because you got me 100% to your to your liking, however you wanted to proceed with today's class.
Um, I am all of the above. I'm new to everything. I've been a government contractor for about 20 years
Hmm.
in the IT space, meaning project management, program management, all that good stuff. Um, Departments such as Treasury, Transportation, Department of Energy. And about 3 years ago, I was partnering, or quote unquote, was supposed to partner with someone to really help me dive deep. But people like to gatekeep. So that's another story for another day.
Yeah.
So I learned about you through the Gov, the Monday roundtable meetings.
Hmm.
I attended a couple of those and I've been out of the country for a minute and we, corresponded via email. So long story short, um, I just want to really understand more and see how I can land some contracts before this year's over. And I'm also contemplating signing up for your program. I think it's the mastermind or something. My apologies, whatever you have. So yeah, I'm all in. I'm invested. So however you want to, introduce DLA to me or anything else, I'm all ears. But again, my next step is to go ahead and lock in one of your courses.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so it is the 360-degree training program, and it's kind of like it's the best thing since sliced bread. That's what I'm hearing from a lot of folks who are taking the plunge. Here, I do have some slides that can kind of take us through a conversation today. So
Okay.
it's not going to be real formal. We'll just kind of take it step by step. I'm thinking, since you say kind of all of the above, that we'll just kind of do a little bit of a dive into who the DLA is,
Yes.
being that you have experience as a federal. You said you were a federal employee or federal contractor.
Contractor.
Okay, contractor. All
Yeah.
right. So you've worked with the Department of Energy in the past.
Yes, I have.
All right, fantastic. When I was part of the 8A program, I actually had some 88, some sole source 8A awards with the Department of Energy. The WAPA station out in Southwest America. So like coming up out of Phoenix, Arizona, and Nevada. I worked with some hardware retrofits that they were doing for some of the power lines out there in the desert back in the
Oh.
day. So yeah, they were huge contracts, and it was really cool to work with the companies that actually make the pine poles.
Hmm.
Yeah, so we had a bunch of the poles, and we had to coordinate the delivery of all that to remote substations, and it was just a heck of an experience working with the Department of Energy. So through the 8A program, they are very, very 8A centric. That organization.
Okay.
Um, cool. So let me see. Let me share my screen real quick here.
Okay.
And so, and just so I, just to reiterate, you don't have any specific DLA opportunities that you're looking at right now?
No, I don't have anything. I don't even know how to apply to them. Kiwi.
Now, you were mentioning something about services earlier. Service-based commands, again, DLA disposition services, they're all about disposal services, demilitarization services, and maintenance for material handling equipment, MHE. And so, again, we have not worked directly with these commands. From my understanding, it almost seems like they are a command within itself. They're a customer of the DLA. And so I have not spent enough time trying to figure out how to get involved in getting a service-based contract. So for example, I remember talking to a client that said that they were out where they have the naval shipyard where all the carriers that get decommissioned, and they go in and remove all the top secret stuff out of them. So they have like that yard where they're just sitting for spare parts and whatnot. So he had a friend that basically managed tugging, moving those ships around from one pier to another. And so they had a contract with DLA Disposition Services to handle that, so this guy had a big tugboat and he gets paid, millions of dollars to move that stuff around. So it really has a lot to do with who you know, I think, in order to get these types of contracts to support DLA Disposition Services. DLA distribution, again, they manage all the distribution depots. The big thing that the DLA is doing now is the modernization of their supply depots. And if you can imagine, these are 100,000 square foot depots that have, like, if you can imagine Home Depot on crack, this is what the DLA is managing with their disposition services. And so they're modernizing these warehouses, and they're bringing what's called the Amazonian effect to things, where they're getting robotics in, conveying systems, and they're getting it to where they're not relying on people to move products to and fro. So if you know anything, I would imagine there's a lot of opportunity for IT services to come in and do the programming and conveying systems and things like that. This is probably where you would want to get involved with trying to support the DLA. Again, that's not our claim to fame, but I have an understanding of who this customer is, and they do buy a lot of packaging and material handling systems equipment. And when I say packaging, because a lot of times, and the DLA talks about it all the time, when you get involved with the DLA, you'll find out that people sometimes don't know exactly what they're doing, and they're shipping products to the DLA that are not bagged and tagged correctly. So the DLA will do it in-house, but charge you for the service. So they will buy labels and bags and materials in order to rework products that vendors like us mess up. But you don't want to mess it up because it's very costly to mess it up. I mean, I think that their labor rate, they charge upwards of $30 an hour to relabel stuff for you. Whereas, like, you know what? Yeah, I'll do it myself, kind of thing. Yeah, because the hours, you never know where the cap is. They'll just tell you, hey, we'll just send you an invoice once we're done. You never know what that number is going to look like, So anyway, so that's service-based contracts with the DLA secondary commands. And again, DLA Disposition Services, they're based out of North Battle Creek, Michigan. And of course, DLA Distribution Services is based out of New Cumberland, Pennsylvania. Now, distribution services, they have depots strategically placed all around the world. There are three major distribution depots here in America. You got New Cumberland, Pennsylvania, Tracy, California, and Richmond, Virginia. Those are the three major ones, but of course, they have minor ones scattered around Texas and things like that as well. You got me going here. You got me
it's
going.
all right. You got all the info. This is cool.
Yeah. And so, yeah, and we got another 20 minutes left. So is there anything that you want to talk about? Because I can continue to talk this forever.
I want to know the difference between the courses that you have. You have the one that's the 360, and then you have the one that's like a 3-day workshop. Of course, besides the price point, what value for someone like myself that's just getting their feet wet in this government contracting space?
Okay, good question.
Recommend?
Great question. Okay, so I'll just kind of throw it up on the screen here. One, hopefully you've been to this landing page, and literally when you click this kind of gives you a quick little video that's actually on YouTube. I think I have it on YouTube, but it will kind of give you a very high level overview of the 360, but coming from the horse's mouth. My 360 programs, and then, of course, you got the frequently asked questions. But the three programs that I have in place now, my 360 will basically cover the pre-award master. You'll get 3 classes in one. I call it 360 because it's literally when you get started, this is like what you'll need to get started. You'll
Okay.
have a pre-award masterclass, which will basically give you all the steps to getting registered to be on DIBBS. It'll take you through that, as well as a business process, a methodology that we employ in order to manage all the solicitations. So the DLA has at any given moment 100,000 solicitations that are on DIBBS active, ready to rock and roll. So, they have all these solicitations, and these are all generated by purchase recs. And these PRs are coming through from different military agencies looking to buy whatever product that they may need to support their soldiers. So the DLA takes all those PRs, converts them into a solicitation, and puts them on DIBBS, and then they wait for us to come and bid against them. And so at any given moment, every day, the DLA is awarded about 10,000 solicitations or contracts every single day. As a matter of fact, we were awarded a contract yesterday, so every day there are these awards going out. So my 360 program is going to more or less teach you the methodology of how do you manage 100,000 solicitations that cover all those 7 major commands. And so there's third-party software that we have, and so this class we're going to kind of show you this software that we recommend to support you. Now, it's not you don't need it; you can literally do it without the software, but it's like you're going to be pulling your hair out because it's just so much information, and DIBBS is not really designed to make life easy for you. Or it's a third-party software that we utilize in-house, and we don't own the software. It's a company that we contract with. They help us to make it make sense so that we can make it we can palletize it into small chunks that we can handle as a small business. And so that's what this 360, the pre-award masterclass will do. Once you graduate from that class, you'll get a 1-hour free bonus consult, like how we're talking today, talk everything about that class, and I'll learn a little bit more about you, Renee, and where you may be wanting to take your business. And I'll do my best to provide you with any guidance that I can give you towards that. Now, a lot of customers that take these classes, they get their first contract. I had an email yesterday. A student was like, "Hey, man, I got my first award. Now, what do I do?" Yeah, the post-award masterclass. That's what you need. And so the post-award masterclass will then teach you everything of how you translate all that information that's in the contract vehicle that you were awarded. So the bagging and tagging is really important. So the post award is going to teach you what type of labels you need, how to affix the labels, how to package the materials, because they may be going on a carrier somewhere, and you have to have the right type of packaging materials to be in full accordance with the terms and conditions of your contract award. So the post-award masterclass kind of gives you, a framework of how to take it, because every contract is going to be different. So I tried to design it based off of, looking at one of our contracts as kind of a typical commercial off-the-shelf type contract. But of course, as you go through that, once you graduate from the post-award masterclass, you get a 30-minute bonus one-on-one with me, yours truly, DLA Guru, where we can talk a little bit about that masterclass, or if you happen to have an actual award that you like to just, hey, I just want to just make sure, because you wouldn't believe how many people just use me as insurance. And I call myself, actually, I'm thinking about calling myself the DLA Guru, your insurance agent. Because they reach out and say, hey, I just want to make sure that we're doing this right. Can you just look at this one more time before we ship it? Because we got $50,000 tied up in this thing. We don't want to make a mistake. And so that's what the post-award masterclass is designed to kind of give you that warm, fuzzy feeling that, hey, I'm doing this correctly and I should be okay. Now, not only from shipping it, but then you'll also get training on how to invoice the DLA, because nowhere on DIBBS will they teach you how to successfully invoice, because that's yet a different agency that handles the invoicing, which is called DFAS. It's Defense Finance and Accounting Service. They are a support agency for the U.S. military and the DLA. And so my training program teaches you exactly how to invoice a DLA contract through DFAS. All right, so that's what you get there. And then my third class, which I consider a bonus class, and it talks about it right here, it's the EJCP Certification Masterclass. Make this a little larger. EJCP stands for Enhanced Joint Certification Program. And what this is, if you want to get into manufactured products. So we were talking a little bit about DLA Aviation, where they're a little bit more sensitive to who they buy from. And so when you get EJCP certified and you have access to technical control documents, which I would probably say 80% of those documents are linking back to aviation components. And so by having access to these export control technical documents through the EJCP program, then you can share those documents with potential manufacturers, because a lot of times when you knock on a manufacturer's door and say, hey, can you build this part for me? The first question they'll say is, send us the drawings. So you have to know how to access those drawings and how to control and manage those drawings so you don't find yourself in fed penitentiary somewhere. And so my EJCP certification program kind of teaches you how to do that. That it's above board, so if you get audited by the DLA, that you don't find yourself in trouble with the DLA. So I think that's great. So that's kind of what the 360 is all about. Now you asked about the interactive workshop. The interactive workshop is very similar to our conversation we're having today. It's a training program that I actually have, set things or modules that I like to cover, but it really I consider it advanced because I typically want to have students who have actually won a contract or two to get in. So it's really about you just enhancing and scaling your business and figuring out how we scale our business, and saying that maybe you can get some nuggets to scale your business to be able to bid on not just 30 contracts a day, but maybe 100, because now you have a team of folks that know what the hell they're doing.
Right.
So you can just scale your business,
Okay.
and that's what that's all about. And last but not least, I have my SBA EIDL charge-offs. There was an issue at the beginning of the year where a lot of federal vendors were getting locked out from being able to receive federal funds because they took advantage of the EIDL loans. They got charged out to the U.S. Treasury. And so we got so many phone calls coming in. I was like, let me help crack this code. I'm an engineer. I like to solve problems. So this is one of my courses that I created to help folks that may be in that position, especially DLA vendors, because if you had your loan that got charged out to the U.S. Treasury, if you got a DLA contract, let's say for $100,000, once that contract was paid, it will be confiscated by the U.S. Treasury and it can literally take you out of business, So that's what that class was all about. But I think you would be more interested in the 360 degree program because you're very new to it. So that's all. Any questions?
No questions. I think I have to go back to decide if I'm going to add products to my business, or if I'm going to stick right now with what I know what to do instead of trying to take on another, component to my business. So it doesn't seem like it's hard. It's just understanding what you're going to offer. And like you said, there's millions of options that the DLA, needs. I just got to figure out which one that I would have the least amount of learning curve to offer that product to.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that too, because here, I'll show you one thing that might give you a little bit of a taste of what it's like. So this is that third-party software that I was telling you about that we utilize.
Mhm.
And in my 360 degree program, I talk about a company by the name of, are you familiar with Granger?
Yes. Mhm.
All right. So, and you probably seen some of my, well, maybe you have seen my videos, but Granger is almost a household name, but
Right.
they're a international company now. They actually have facilities in Kuwait. I remember when I worked in Kuwait, I saw a Granger
Wow.
facility. I'm like, man, you guys are in Kuwait too. Oh, Jesus. But Granger, and you can go to Granger.com and take a look at their website there. But this database literally links to all the national stock numbers that are associated with Granger. So
Armed with a lot of information. Just gonna have to run this by the hubby and see where we fall. But yeah, I'm very optimistic. I know I can do it. I am also considering adding some products to my line of business. So I'm thankful for this. This is cool.
all right, cool. Well, hey, I appreciate you. Appreciate you for having lunch with the DLA group. Well, actually, I'm still sipping on my cold coffee from Quick Trips. Uh, but yeah, hey, this is fantastic. I always like meeting new people. If you ever need me for anything, you know where to find me. I'll
Mhm.
follow with an email to you, just kind of a summary of today, and
Okay.
inviting you to be part of our DLA vendor network over in LinkedIn. Hopefully, you got a LinkedIn profile. I can take a look and invite you in, kind of to keep the conversation going, because I think part of being a successful contractor, whether it be on the service side as well as the product side, is just having a family, a place where you can go and say, hey, I got some questions, or hey, I'm feeling I'm getting beat up, I need some help, and hey, the support.
Right.
And which I've never had for 20 years. So I'm really looking to build this to even support what we're doing,
Right.
because I just think that that's where it's at in the next 3 to 5 years. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I look forward to working with you in the near future, and I will look forward to your summary in your email.
All right, cool. Talk to you
All
later.
right. Thanks. Bye bye.